Like, sure, Vi can kind of face check into a MKOI, but she doesn't really want to. Same with Rel. So I think you're quite vulnerable as Fnatic if you're not on the objective first. Or a little bit late after pushing the wave, and now it should be MKOI right to move over towards those first void grubs.
Dragon taking the response, so for Fnatic, a little bit of
looking for Razork, but yeah, Mickey's kind of been all over the place trying to protect his different lanes in what has been the extended lane swap.
Ignite down though. There's no ulti for Alvaro, and I think that cow has just become mince for first blood.
I was just about to say how Fnatic set their sights on this.
They don't really have control of top side either. Razork's isolated.
Quick smite, maybe just to stop the all three, but a flash, twisted advance. Elyoya finds Razork in his track. Nature's Grasp is down. Jojo's here. Needs to lay down more damage than that, but the ulti has to turn into a flash. Razork flashes in response. Q's out and he's out. Jojo's committed hard for this, and meanwhile Super's getting busted in the pit. He flashes over the wall. The equalizer goes to where? Alvaro flashes there, and meanwhile upset beware. Fnatic are running down Koi. It's Manwin who's taking up to deal with him, but Oscar is putting the flame up. Who wants pork belly for dinner? I think it's Fnatic. They've already cooked one. They'll cook another person alive. And 4 kills in the blink of an eye.
It's a messy fight, but somehow Fnatic, it's bedlam in the fight. But I think if you're Fnatic, you're pretty happy with the way that one turned out, because Razork was isolated, and Jojo trying to predict Razork's Q over the wall meant that they didn't. So it's on MKOI now to try and disrupt how Fnatic are entering into these objectives.
Ewan's trying to set this up and all out into the Nature's Grasp, and the first time on Maokai. You're not disappointed with Elyoya's position. Meowin with the shutdown, and you said, you know, he's not going to be the cap. Now we're looking at Bros punching fist.
Fnatic Death Rush.
And it's what Jojo's going to run into. Betty has said it, and now you've seen it. Razork with the kill, teleport in the middle as well. Alvaro's involved, but Meowin has to get out of there immediately. But that opens up top, guys. Oscar Renan's just going to get a free turret here, and with how low it bot is as well, you might get a double turret.
Yeah, and that's huge. I mean, you won't be able to get the top side turret, unfortunately, but still, you've got a ton of offer now. Continue to chase forward. Mirren has support, and Elyoya is on the way.
Razork was trying to fear the ultimate Shattering Strike crash away. Yet it's still down. Elyoya, you're going to run into Razork, okay? Vault Breaker into the tree, but he's not going to leave. Instead, he brings Super in as well. Vault Breaker gives a bit of a shield. Ulti out. Razork, the criminal, he's away with it. Bandits run. That's Koya trying to get into this choke, but I don't think it's too good for Fnatic. Burning the Midnight Oil as Alvaro flashes away, somehow makes it away. But Upset joined in just to get the kill. He's going to be all out, but look at Koi. They don't want to join back in, but Meowin will do it himself. He flips, he smacks, and yes, Meowin can. While you look at the top lane, Oscar Rennan and Jojo are once again fighting out, but this time, Jojo has it.
And Koi just scrapped back. That is 4 kills across the map as Jojo gets a solo in the top side and Meowin carries through the bot. What looked like a winning play for Fnatic ends in disaster.
It's the overstay from Fnatic that ends up killing them. They try to get more on towards Mirren. Now, they will end up getting the tower, but you'll see it in the replay in just a second. It's the position that they end up putting themselves in as they escape that caused them issues. Razork ends up...
Dragons, so it is nice that Koi can stop the stacking here, but when you think about the only turret of an outer that's actually mid, as Oscar and I have to pause, Meowin is looking for a kill, and this is a 2-item Cassante. I guarantee you he wins this, ladies and gentlemen. Rock and roll! Meowin, an auto, he might actually die! No, it's Cassante. Humanoid fixes that though, and it is a shutdown to a carry this time of Fnatic.
I mean, Meowin is just starting to run away with the side lanes, and crucially, Jojo is going to continue to scale. Remember, that's very crucial. He's
on a ward, he's Vault Breaker, and Alvaro might just be caught out here. He pops the ulti nice and early, but again, Upset is a 2-item carry himself, so kill goes over, Upset with number 4. And Fnatic is still biting back.
And they can keep the pressure up. They have the Herald available on Razork if they want to drop that in the mid lane. Jojo has only just now gone back to base. He has to go and deal with the bot wave, which means the 3 members of Koi staying mid.
But the ult comes through from the MKOI. They want to try and keep him locked up. Will end up getting it. I think the tower should fall if Upset can get into range.
But Elyoya's got Leandri's first. That guy's not tanky at all. He twisted, advances in, but he's just dead in an instant. There's no tank stats there outside of the Tarbies, and Fnatic open turret with him as well.
Yeah, he's just in
Building up
Movistar.
this side turret. It's finally going to drop down because Koi are all top, looking to see what they can fish.
And Fnatic slowly but surely. Ooh, the objective going to be started off, and Fnatic is very far away. Upset, recalling on the bot side of the map. TP, I think it's still unavailable for Humanoid. I think this is an uncontested Arakan.
Razork's so far away.
It's the Hex Text though. Razork can get in.
You're right, but Nature's Grasp zones him out. Now Bro just bops him, so free Arakan while they position for bot. It's Fnatic's trade in the end that is gold for the Atakan given over.
It's a nice cross map from KOI, recognizing that they can't do much on the bot side.
Formation's right there in front of them. True Shot Barrage misses, which is good, but again, Hextech Drake chains its lightning. Alvaro pops the ulti out again, the equalizer in front. Alvaro has the flash in, but he's going to die with the Atakan buff. Super channeling down Razork while the rest of the fight goes on, and Jojo finds some good marks, but Humanoid has to get out because Mirwan's on his face. The flip outside doesn't work out, but Razork is down. Supercharged him. Humanoid still getting chased. Kasante, 1,000,001 dashes. Did it way before Ambessa, as Upset might get a kill there, but 4 of Fnatic died to that Atakan Dragon.
You can see how hard it is at the start, but remember he had the Atakan buff as well, so they could play this heavy committal style. They could force the fight, and not only did they get the Dragon, they're going to start this one off. Upset, he's going to cancel his base.
His poke feels like everything as well. Alvaro has no ulti, so he's going to be squishy here. Everyone watching at home, look at the Baron Health Bar at 5k with the Nature's Grab. It's going to be a turning set. The flip back and again, and Jojo landing his ulti today. Mirwan disintegrates. Mickey pops into his ult, runs into the team. He might die, but he's done his job. As Super starts running the front to back again. Fnatic cannot withstand.
The core damage dealer of Fnatic was ripped out of that fight by Movistar. KOI upset falls. KOI win the fight, and it's going to be the Baron to boot as well.
The turn from KOI is just so strong. We've seen it back to back now, Mickey. Hit W from the Kai'Sa? No, Super's going to choose to back, but what a
here and there, and it's Movistar KOI now to fall back onto those great team fights, the clean execution on these front to back style fights. And now Fnatic under threat on this topside turret.
And you can see, even though Upset had the early lead, now because of all these fights, thanks to Mirwan, Super is benefiting. 3-item Kai'Sa. And even though it's a 1,200 gold lead over to Upset, Super has been claiming a lot of the kill bounties, a lot of the rewards. Is getting to do quite a lot as well. Jojo steps up to this inner turret just to pop it for a little bit as KOI continue their saga here with the Baron in tow.
And with this position, it just becomes so difficult for Fnatic to execute on what their comp wants to do. It's that backline assassination with the Rumble ult, with the Ezreal ult, with Vi leading the charge, but how do you do it here?
Nature's Grass so good at pushing teams off the turrets. Fnatic safe for now with the equalizer down, but the turret is just gone. Mirwan gets a flip yet again, but no pushback. He withstands the damage so easily as Mickey stuns him up, but again, they need more than that. Vault Breaker Mirwan won't sustain if he runs into everyone, and now Jojo's ulting thin air. A double shutdown. The fish learned how to swim and then just sunk.
KOI overstepped their boundaries. That was way too aggressive. I feel like that
Split with the jungle wall, and Humanoid was just sitting there acting like a bouncer. So Fnatic now get their opportunity to get the Dragon, but look at where they're positioned.
3 minutes till Dragon, 145 till Baron.
Fnatic overstacking on the bot side of the map as Dagda said they're looking for the fight.
Again, thinking about it, Razork is just going to pop the ulti. That's the engine of KOI picked up and burnt alive. Upset finds the first kill onto the jungler as Jojo goes over the wall. He finds an ulti onto Mickey, but it's not enough. Super runs in into melee range, and Mickey thinks, can I get an engage? Alvaro poked out, Upset going forward. You can't call him a KDA player when he wants them all to die. Fnatic run through the choke. Mirwan thinks otherwise. He got shredded before and will not make the same
Great
mistake.
pressure to separate the Kasante. Now Elyoya in a fantastic spot for a potential Maokai ultimate.
Hasn't been spotted out at all. All it takes is a Nature's Grass. His first Maokai we see in competitive, and I don't think it'll be the last, at least in this split. Nature's Grass rounds up Razork immediately. The equalizer down is good. It's a mosh pit. It's a big pit. It's a magnetic pit because Mickey brought them all together. Vosker in to burn them down. Mirwan, the star player, kept them in line while the rest of the team dove to die. A shutdown in the end, and KOI have cleaned orbit for.
The engage from KOI is just too strong. The confidence was returning to Fnatic, but you can just see the comp difference in action. Mickey, he's going to be able to get away with his life, but with 4 dead, KOI set their sights on the inhibitor towers.
Bigger health bar definitely helping out Movistar KOI in this one, and now they're just going to run down this mid lane. Timers are not in favor of Fnatic.
Yeah, they're really not. 20 seconds for Razork. I mean, they're pushing to end here. Low health bar for Mirwan as well. 15 seconds is the count on jungler. Upsetting 15 now from there as well. Mickey at the buy time. He crashes down, but the minion wave is still there. Healthily enough. He's getting some good damage down, and Mirwan does die thanks to the turret. Mickey's still trying to play the waiting game. A root back. Both turrets gone, and Jojo's on the nexus. Razork ulti's up, but it's going to be in Jojo. Jojo's trying to get around. He's still autoing down, but now for the fight. He's dead. Half health on the nexus. KOI almost had it.
Mickey somehow gets the kill up to Mirwan.
And now Fnatic gets the Baron.
But this is the thing, it's Baron going to be taken, but you're still got multiple death timers on towards Movistar KOI. Its soul is up and available. Movistar KOI are rushing towards it, but they can't take it. It's a port in the jungle and a dream, and it's turning into a nightmare for Movistar KOI.
Who's joking who? Vedius, what is that? UPS, the package service. Ups. I got delivery service. That also makes sense.
She's still on the retreat here, as that is going to fade in a minute's time. They're not getting the vision control they need. They're not getting the waves pushed out. So it has to be another monumental team fight as Mickey goes.
Full engage. It's good. It's on to Mirwin, and again, he's not as tanky as he first thought. Oscar Renan takes in Jojo. 4 versus 5, and Jojo goes all in. But he also is taken down an extra peg. 3 versus 5. 55-second death timers.
He used the E, which meant that there was no place left for him to go back to other than the waiting arms of Fnatic. Fnatic now with a member's advantage. No. They set their sights on the Nexus.
They tried desperately to carry this game through Mirwin, through their team comp, but Fnatic, they just find their pick and they're going to end.
And Jojo's pinging their flashes right now as 3 versus 5 never looks so alive.
There's the combo!
KOI is there, and then suddenly they're not. They were halfway through the Nexus. Then Fnatic bounce back just like they always do.
The old chat is rampant.
As week in, week out, he's been the most consistent member on Fnatic. Now you put him in a carry matchup versus the Ornn. That Ornn is going to regret being in that 1v1.
The only
blokes next to me talking about the scaling here and how unbeatable she'll be, especially if she gets time in the sun. Meanwhile, Alvaro, Dredgeline's going to pull him in. Razork's here, level 4. Wind becomes lightning, and this Leona's tanky enough, though. Alvaro flashes away, but it's a match. Razork might be first meat, first blood, first dead, as Mickey is now amongst 3. At Permafrost, almost in range, but Mickey's Shield of Daybreak and melee support is freshly done as Super gets his 2nd kill. Big play for KOI
taken earlier because Leona is so strong in this matchup. You end up popping the W and you're just able to trade hyper aggressively in the matchup because Nautilus just doesn't have enough sticking power, and now Oscar Renan's in trouble.
Sticking power against the wall. Oscar Renan stuck there, bopped, and Mirwin gets a kill of his own. KOI are alive. With the 1W, by the way. That seems fair with a 8 flat damage reduction. Just the reason why he survived and why early game for KOI is going so well. They're going to do it again. Watch it with an eclipse in his eyes. Alvaro, not the target this time, but Super spaces them out. They keep doing this. Fnatic are like, I see them. I must kill them. But no. KOI are going to chase them down. Razork lucky to get out of that one.
Playing defensive as Nautilus, you hook the Leona out of her Zenith Blade so then you can play the fight, but now you're 2 levels down as Mickey and trying to hard force into topside with Oyoya here again.
There's 4 here under turret with Call to Forge got available as well, and a Permafrost only lacking 1 auto. Mickey gets in the way, that's nice, but he might die for it. A searing charge and a death to remember. Flash from Mirwin is brilliant. Upset had his number and Alvaro's too as they get out of dodge. Trying to run up is Humanoid. He's got a mana bar to do so. Mirwin in the trudges as well. Humanoid finds his target onto Alvaro. He tanks it up. Zenith Blade in. He might just have to die, so Super survives, but a seismic shove all the way back. Barrier in tow. Upset will find him with an auto. 2 kills for Fnatic. They fight back.
Fnatic finally get themselves onto the board. Disastrous spot for Fnatic.
I still think this is pretty disastrous regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice that they get 2 back, and it will be the shutdown on towards Super as well that goes across the upset. But again, like, you're looking at a poke Varus who's getting these shutdowns.
Here at the least. Mickey, be careful of that brush. It's hurt them twice, and Razork knows so. Dredgeline in. Again, the exact same spot. Alvaro turns it. He's got a solar flare onto Mickey again. Fnatic gets shoved away. That's Jojo disengaging as Razork can't do anything, and Super gets the reset. Seismic shove flushed away from his Upset, tries to carry the fight on the back end. Super chases him down while Screen starts sending out the needles. Snippy time. Humanoid sends some rocks as well. It's all about projectiles and the environment. But as we get away from global warming, we see Humanoid run over by a damn train. Cole versus the planet, and it looks like it's a whole mess of action.
It ends up being a 1 fight still for Fnatic. The Nautilus doesn't have level 6 yet, so he immediately melts. A lot of resources are invested onto the Nautilus though, so when the re-engage comes through from Fnatic, look how confident Oscar can play. He knows that there's very little that he has to be afraid with, and so he forces out the Ornn, he forces out Jojo. The wall completely disconnects the supporting staff, and that means that it turns into a 3v4 on the top side. Ultimately, as we said, it ends up being a 2 for 2, but the re-engage from Fnatic goes to show that some of the scaling elements of things like the Gwen and the CC that this composition has means that Fnatic definitely not out of this game just yet.
Yeah, especially how quickly they got to that fight.
KOI set their sights on the bot tier 1.
He does have as many deaths as KOI have as Fnatic having kills, rather. So that's just to be noted here. There's going to be another turret going down. And with Gwen on the other side of the map, right now Fnatic are hoping they can do the same thing, but not going to be as quick with one grub. It's Fnatic now roaming around mid, but KOI are looking to sandwich.
It's also because Mickey committed to top side, no ult now, and MKOI want to just continue to put pressure and make sure that you lose out on that bot wave. They take a bit of damage on towards this tier 2.
Sounded like Mr. Mackey. KOI. Okay, fantastic. For the old people in chat, I guess, is Humanoid. Oh, he almost super just sidesteps at Solar Flare, saved by his support. Alvaro doing a good job of protecting the President. KOI running away, but Razork jumps in. Arctic Assault and a Permafrost will keep him in place. Mirwin looking for a root as well, and Chains of Corruption flies out. A seismic shove again, but now Call of the Damn Train lines up, and through the passageway, Fnatic get bopped around. Ignite takes Mickey down. And KOI, the resilience in their fight, the constant engage, it never ends.
Fnatic are just always trying to overextend to find that pick, find that moment.
But Razork is diving in over a wall with which his team really can't follow. So there was a clear disconnect for me in terms of how Fnatic wanted to execute that, and they just hand over another kill.
I don't know what champion that is. I don't know what the Squid champions are in League of Legends.
I think it's Lulu's in the pool parties.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that one. As Mickey's engaged on again, Alvaro takes this. Trench line hits back, though. It's a beautiful one. And from Mickey, might have set it up. The burst coming in, and Jojo's about to dive in. Humanoid in the end!
He's alive!
He gets burned down, and Jojo survives. Alvaro's the new target. Trench line misses, as Oski now comes in, ready to sending the needles out. It's injection time! Jojo, have you had your shots? Oscar chasing him. His ghost is down, but as Jojo uses his fleet to gain some ground, he is now out. But Mirwin, unfortunately, the next stop is not here. It's far, far away, and Fnatic will just take him with ease and eventually give over the kill to one of these carries. Shut down over to Upset, and I love it. So the only question I have for you is, do you like Jazz? Because that's not it. This is rock and roll. Mickey with the dredge line. Permafrost sent out. Now with the Glacial Prison sent as well. Those Chains of Corruption from Upset flung out on top of that. As Mirwin's now teleported in, we are A-ramming once again here in Europe. None of that Nay-ram business where ooh-ram. All I can think about is MKOI and their setup from Mirwin. He's got his ult, he's level 11. He's in a perfect spot. Zoning out Mickey right now with a Hex Flash, while Dragon is the thought. Fnatic want their third.
Again, look at Fnatic set up. They're coming in from multiple different angles. MKOI can't really find one way into the pit because Mickey is constantly threatening the back line. They need to hard force through, but this is their moment.
Upset's damage is hurting Alvaro. One of their engagements almost kicked down. The wall is down, and Humanoid separates Oscar in, and he might have to charge through while Jojo one-man ulties. Oscar in is isolated, and he'll be taken first. Dragon now the thought for KOI. They're on top of it. Fnatic are bringing in the cavalry. Seismic shove away, and Jojo cannot stay. 2K the steal. No, at 5. Razork has stayed alive, and now El Yoya is just going to follow suit. Shutdown after shutdown. Fnatic after Fnatic. They keep getting more.
This is how Fnatic want to set up a fight, and this is Fnatic.
Come around. Harold's going to be dropped down. Jojo's walking up from bottom. KOI might just have to defend this at the inner turret. This will be an easy charge. I mean, Super's trying to kill it before it gets anywhere near, but there it goes. Charges, dies, and gold just goes over to Fnatic. They escape. Now with a 3K.
Fnatic is a team that's usually good at making mistakes in the early game and then finding ways to regroup and bounce back.
The opposite.
But again, we're seeing nobody on the mid wave from Movistar KOI. So now you have Humanoid set up to clear the wave and threaten.
And that wall as well that Jojo can't get around. Super flashes away immediately. Call the Forge God is good, but Super just needs one simple reset. Mickey won't give it to him until the rocket comes in. And now the range at play. El Yoya found a beautiful pick onto Razork, and away he goes. Super with the shutdown. Getting excited while Mirwin is zone controlling. Upset just needs to poke. The Dragon going down ever so slowly, and Oscar running in without his ulti. He's ready to snap onto Super. The damage is unreal. He rips, he shreds, and Movistar KOI are going to bed.
Oscar changing the landscape of this fight. And looked like such a good front to back for KOI. They were able to keep their carries.
Missed decision making from Movistar. KOI come back to bite them.
And now it bites him in front of the Baron as well. Humanoid, like I said, doing due diligence with his seismic shove, and now a depth charges KOI. Kane here to soft contest. This time one doesn't hit from Humanoid, but Fnatic on the chase here. They've got a Mountain Soul, they cannot. And Upset's damage is going to rip and continue to do exactly what Oscar did before. The needlework zones him out. A shove once more. Call of the Forge God from Mirwin will bow deck. And Fnatic are gonna look to set us up for match point.
Mickey sneaky
One
hook.
fight, another secured objective. Upset remains deathless. He chunks out Super's HP, and Humanoid is there to follow.
Because he wants a pick, it's all it takes. Seismic shove. Super didn't have flash. He's lucky to get away from that one, but again, maybe a little bit overhyped as the Baron is used well regardless. Upset, his range is brutal at this point.
From Fnatic to keep Movistar KOI interested, so Oscar can get full value before they reset with this Red Bull Baron power play. It's only going to be that bot lane structure that leaves outside of Movistar KOI's base, but I think it may be just one.
Dacta was just talking about Razork. He's fishing a bit.
I mean, he has Atacon, so he's going to be extra fishy at this point as well. Maybe KOI are the ones who should be fishy because they can just walk up under this turret. 4 members strong. You look at mid, and once again, the needlework's going to fly out. Oscar is huge. And Upset as he walks forward might do the same thing. Who's going to die first? It's a game of catch and ball, but KOI must have forgotten how to catch it. In the end, Oscar Renan almost taking down Jojo, opens up mid. The pick on bot opens up bot. And Fnatic with 10.5k want to end it right here.
It's not really catch and play if you're just looking for home run after home run from Oscar Renan. The hook onto the Sejuani.
I wonder who lost the bat in the process. Call the Forge God is deflective at this point, but again, Atacon buff is still there, and Elyoya gets snapped in half. Elyoya and his mid laner are now down. Movistar KOI, they might have had the early game, they might have had a semblance of power, but Fnatic, if there's a will, there's them. Match point in the lower bracket. This team always finds a way to survive.
The GGs come through as Fnatic. You have things like the Renata and the Cho'Gath. Neither side have a very reliable engage. I would say that because Jarvan EQR seems straightforward, at a certain point, I think Cho can start winning out on the matchup. But quite frankly, both top laners are likely just going to ignore each other.
I think Sion just struggles because he can't really charm or land his Q because he gets fear or
Humanoids,
silence, and then knocked.
Maybe it's more exciting for you guys as well. We talk about top laners and we brew action in mid. Great flash charm from Jojo, but they need to get the priority damage, and Alvaro does, opens the door for first blood.
Great play from Alvaro, the immediate Q flash.
KOI off to a great start. They're a team that is so good at finding early advantages and setting themselves up for success. The problem often comes in the mid to late game when it comes to continuing that success. The 2v2 you can see going about very much as we expected. We know why KOI wanted to avoid this matchup, and it's because of this, but Jarvan's on his way here.
Yeah, Mickey might be in a bit of trouble. He used his flash before, doesn't have it to avail, and he's just stunned down, will not get bailed out. Upset now the new target. A good bailout in the end, or rather, handshake that bails Upset out. But KOI are on the board early again.
And consistently, look at last game and this game.
The early lane swap, the jungle camp advantage is in favor of Elyoya. Jojo Pion, especially thanks to that early gank. It was unfortunate he didn't get that kill, but he still finds the lead.
Even with better engage tools, KOI haven't been able to find those mid-game fights. Fnatic have outplayed them and outfingered them a bit as we've got a bit of a gank set up here. Teleport coming in, and that's Humanoid. He might be pretty weak here without an item, so we'll see how long Mirwin can sustain as Razork's also coming down to help out. Feast is going to make it a little bit easier though, and Oscar doesn't have it available, so it might not matter. He flushes towards his team. Alvaro's there, and again, that Sion is hard to kill. Fnatic walk in, now set up the Between Worlds, but where's the damage? They have none of it. A rend, a kill, and a feat of warfare. Oscar Renan running for the hills because KOI are just stronger at this point with a second kill over to Super.
Fnatic had a ton of vision in the bottom side jungle of Movistar KOI, so they were like, great, we could try and make this quick play on the bottom side, but they went for the tank. Mira's able to survive for way too long, and at that stage the rest of Movistar KOI show up, and Mickey needs to be careful. But the dragon will be going to, yeah, it's better than MKOI or whatever it was, right? Yeah, so.
Well, Mickey stepping up, he still has the ulti available and a heal. He's trying to bait it out. Jojo Pion though, without an ulti, still gets the charm onto the Cho'Gath. Oscar Renan tries to rupture up, but he's stunned up instead. A Ren will just seal his fate, but there's not enough damage there either. He walks
really well.
It's cheeky.
I mean, here comes Jojo
He's
from
got
the
Blade,
river.
by the way, so Oscarin's going to be slowed, and this time the Ren will really do some damage. Malignance helps out as well. Jojo gets the orb, and Super gets the kill, number 3.
This time around, or did anything that has been happening on the map. Look at the deaths on the side of Fnatic. The person that doesn't have one is Upset, and while that might seem like, well, Upset never dies, that's true, but they've also just avoided him like the plague.
Gold lead. Spain must be feeling pretty good about this one, but also, I imagine, quite nervous as well. Mid turret still standing there as Upset might be tagged up. Good charm as well. All in. Elyoya doesn't pop the ulti, though. Upset's close to dying, and he will fall. Super helped out by Jojo as that turret about to die. Hostile takeover, that's great, but again, the prom. He's had his wall up. Razork can't do a thing, and it's still a gold play.
There's a TP in behind them, though. They want to keep pushing this.
Jojo has moments of his ultimate up and available. The charm misses, though, and Humanoid gets out of there. Flag and drag away. No, Fnatic are finding an angle, and Koi need to find a better one on the Humanoid. They see Razork is in the kick away, so Super survives. It's still Mad Koi's game to lose, and they're going to win it with every part of their might. A decimating smash of Super now looks for his ankle to come in, and with all that CC, an easy another kill. They are not throwing this one away.
Movistar Koi won the fight when they killed
It
them.
all. And it is just incredible to see as Razork now looks for an angle. Teleport's going to be burned. That's Koi moving towards mid, and Mioen just teleported in front of 2 people. Oscar in as well, looking for the flank while Elyoya, a flag and drag, sets him in, and Oscar just doesn't want to be here anymore. The reverse Sion sends him down and interrupt with the Dragon's kick, but Razork is just steamrolled by Super. Yes, they will not be throwing a single thing. In fact, Fnatic can't get a single thing in this game.
Fnatic look desperate. They're playing like their composition has twice the mobility that it actually does. And Movistar Koi are like, great, you're TPing behind. We just turn onto the people behind. We have way more chase down potential than Fnatic does.
It's a near perfect game from Koi so far. The way that they found those early game advantages.
Almost find him, but they back off. It's because Atakan's down bot and being started by Super.
The stacks already starting to stack up. Fnatic trying to gain entry, but Mioen is going to stand strong.
Really nice stuff. The unstoppable onslaught at melee range. It tears Fnatic a new one. And Koi have dropped no margin in this game. They'll take the Atakan off the back of the fight, and Fnatic are looking clueless in this game. Game 1, game 2, it was messy, but they found a road back in. But Koi have built this wall in front of them for this 3rd game, brick by brick. It's standing strong.
Movistar Koi have figured out the mid game. They have figured out Fnatic in game number 4, and they want to make sure that they can push us all the way.
I feel you, Dagda, because at this point, Fnatic are just running back 14-0. This 3rd game gives hope. It gives inspiration to the Koi fans. This will not be a flash in the pan. This will not be a disappointing 3-0. The start of the reverse sweep won't begin now, but the inhibitor down 13.
The question now for me is what actually does happen, because Fnatic does not look comfortable in this composition. And we haven't really seen them go the distance when it comes towards Fearless.
Jojo might be caught out here, but nah, just forget about it. I mean, even with the ult from Upset, it doesn't matter. That Kalista has 3 items. This put in the list of 2 hard as mid's going to open up as well. And Koi striving for the success of this game. 15-0. Will anyone die with Atakan? There ain't going to be a point on that board until it happens twice over. Humanoid jumps away. Jojo is looking for the sick charm. He might miss that, but Humanoid has to go back to the fountain. He's at half HP as minions start running in.
Fnatic will hold for the moment, it looks like. Movistar Koi are just happy to keep this pressure up. There's nothing really that they have to fall back for until that 35-second timer drops down. So reset from Jojo, can TP back onto the map. But Fnatic, defender's advantage here, have healed and starting to move back out.
At this point, Fnatic's just looking for a kill. I feel like the game plan is, okay, for morale, we have to at least get on the board, because Koi, the only thing they've lost is a dragon.
2-0. You know, 2-0 start after those games went the way they did.
I really want to emphasize that Koi did an incredible job of just avoiding any plays around Upset in the early game.
And Fnatic did a great job of fighting when Upset wasn't there.
That's also very true.
Helps, yes.
Yes. I mean, it was just, it's a situation where throughout this game, Koi's lane assignments were just always perfect. They already demonstrated it in game 2 and they got that lead. Dagda was running us through it. But here again in game 3, they've just done a really good job of controlling the early game. And now with the Baron, with a near 14k gold lead. Oh, will this be the kill?
I mean, that's some damage. It might have doubled his stats just in those 3 autos, but But meanwhile, Mad ending the game, excuse me, Koi. They'll run into the turrets, but the engagers there. Razok with a brilliant kick in their base. Super's got to flash away. The hostile takeover will just reach him in the end as well. Onto Alvaro. He's dead. They're 13,500 gold down. Surely not. Fnatic defending well. It's only one kill for now as Mir wins a new target, but a charm up and a decimating smash. Oscar almost bitten off too much.
Upset desperately needs that cash in, but he's just not going to be given it. Humanoid ends up sniping the kill in the back line. It's a silver line.
Two, and it was the other way around.
Yeah, then you'd have a chance.
Have a chance.
Wiki, it's a small pick. Upset's going to be able to do a little bit more damage here, but when I say damage, let's look at the health bar closely. Jojo goes over the wall. Humanoid's caught out. Razok with a kick, though, onto Jojo. He has the Spirit Rush away, but Razok's then caught out. Okay, we're back to square one. Koi run into the base, and Elyoya happy to take this up. Never mind, it was a flash in the pan, however small, with a triple over to Super. Koi are going to keep the series running like a well-oiled machine. It never stops at the station, it just keeps going. It's got to pick up more fans, more people, more hype. The start of the reverse sweep is there. Only the beginning of all chat, I'm sure. And Koi moves to match 4 versus Fnatic.
Elyoya in the chat. Marek, it's...
For 1-3-1 for us, for one of the rarities in comps.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. Wow, this is an interesting one. So I think the top side hovering, it's just such a horrible state for Oscar to be in, and he knows that he is just bleeding farm.
However, Jojo just lost his flash and he's been caught out. Scatter the Weak there, and Impale and an Unleashed Power just waiting on his head. He won't leave here alive. Realm Warp for naught, and First Blood for Humanoid.
Jojo takes
kind of a reverse of what we've seen so far in the series, right? And Fnatic always playing for these bot lane dragons. Koi always
at least they
getting
lend a little bit of help here mid.
And here he is again, right? And Jojo might be dead because the orbs are down, the ult is unleashed. And Humanoid, it looks easy here. The longer this lane goes, the worse. Curse of the Sad Mummy available, and he's going to make someone surprise party indeed. All it takes is an engage as Razok looks to go in first. Bandit shots doesn't connect though, and they turn back for the grubs. Now on the TP, Koi want to go in, and Mirwin starts it off. There it is. It's a sad, sad party. A wild growth set up as Koi just haven't done the finishing damage though. And here comes Zeri. Upset is rolling the fight, and although it looks great, it looked like a perfect engage. A Realm Warp has to leave. They didn't even bring the wine, but they're running out the front door before it ends.
I think it was the stun from Humanoid that just completely shut down that follow-up. Razzle,
Is it
Mirwin?
No ulti here, but Oscarin might be in trouble. However, it's Upset who's still sticking around. Mirwin thought he could find it. Onto Oscarin in the trade, not there yet. Flash!
He misses
still got on Mickey! The blast going! Gets it anyway! That was egregious, but it is a shutdown for Upset.
I cannot believe...
Making sure that Koi feels scared to go in.
And they do. Super.
Super.
This is not where you're supposed to be.
No, he's not. He just ran into Fog of War and into the enemy, into an Impale as well. Super duper yippity-doo. What happened in the end to you? Elyoya as well won't be caught out, but Humanoid
harder the longer this game goes.
Yep.
So I will say that the responsibility is on Fnatic in this matchup to keep the pressure going and maintain the lead that they have over the map because of the pressure they can exert in the lanes.
That little tip of the point, exactly what you're talking about. The wave clip from Super already there as mid-wave might not be the biggest of their concerns. Super's on the hunt already. Razok flashes in. Curse of the Sad Mummy used defensively. His Upset gets the half HP. Impale is spell shielded. Jojo Pyong comes in and Razok's tool is down. Upset is down in the second if he stays in the fight, but Elyoya has to be wild growth. He's running for his life, but he'll be tethered. He'll die. And he saves the play, but he cannot save his own life.
Koi end up being caught in the river. They turn it into a fight without Mirwin. He's such a crucial piece of their damage in the early game. Elyoya ends up connecting 3 hooks.
They don't go for anything too aggressive. Now they're actually just going to go for the dragon into Attica trade, but playing away from Mirwin, because when he finishes his second item, he has one-shot potential onto Upset. He has one-shot potential onto Humanoid. But if he's never able to play the game like Upset was in the Draven, you don't have to worry about it.
If they can open up mid here, it feels like the Attica trade for the Dragon might be okay for a comp that wants to just keep buying time. Super's going to take up the turret, but eventually it drops down. Mid is now open for the side lanes, more importantly. Bot turret as well. Attica is a trade.
Right now, you've just got Mirwin who continues to push, so in theory, that's how it works, but you just don't get to from here.
Oh my god, Alvaro almost dead. Redemption's going to heal him up. I guess that's what they do with the Attica buff. They're like, well, we've got to push this turret, we're going to find some picks. Humanoid tanks up a little bit as well.
Keep your eyes on the bot lane because the TP is going to come through in his Jace.
Okay, Humanoid is on vision, so they know he's coming in. Mirwin just trying to get out of there. Wait for the hook shot, walk shot, while the rest of Koi look for the turn themselves, but Razork just does it first. Jojo now coming in from an angle while Super uses in the fog of war this choke to start bouncing the blades. These are good picks while Mirwin dies bot, yes, but 2 kills equals 400 gold over to Koi for the price of 1.
Draft will help you to a certain extent, but at the end of the day, the hand's the most important part.
Jojo.
And speaking of,
can't get caught out here. Oscar's over the wall. Jojo, come on, not again. Scout of the week is there, and he's rammed against the wall. Big mistake from the new mid laner.
the rest of KOI was backing away. He decided to clear the wolves, and he made himself susceptible.
Bit massive take, although third Hextech Dragon going over to Movistar KOI is nothing to sniff at, but you can try and get value from this as Fnatic, as Humanoid going to look for Mirwin. He's going to have company coming in on the top side as well. Mirwin turns.
He's just got to go in. Maybe just has to hold. He's waiting. Poke dodged away from heal there. Scout of the week though, and Humanoid's just out of range. Unleashes power, but still not dead yet. Mirwin's trying to buy as much time as possible. Hookshot, walk shot goes back in. Mirwin ultis onto Humanoid amongst everyone. So close. Humanoid doesn't burn a thing. He stands his ground and he stands proud.
The knockback was crucial there, but point taken from Fnatic. Mirwin is a
Clear is very much going to be tested right now.
True.
For those long-time League fans, you'll remember the reckless 500 CS Civi win condition.
Classic.
Because that champion was designed to hold the waves. So far though, Fnatic, they secured one tower. They're looking to make it 2.
Trying to make those 4 grubs work as well for Jojo in the side lane, but Humanoid, yeah, will make it 2 indeed, as last of the minions cancelled out in mid. Fnatic group up as 5 and uses Baron buff to push in, and Jojo now needs to retreat and come back because this will be an inhibitor turret for sure. And who knows what happens with mid as well as Upset moves over.
This is huge for Fnatic though. They struggle against the wave clear, as Betty said, but Baron is making the difference here, and that's 2 towers now gone.
Step up to the minion wave. Elyoya is battered, sent away. Razork is in the base by himself. In super goes, but he's wild growth to kite back, but Oscar can't find him. Good kite, good shutdown as Upset now as well. Battered by the ulti, the Camille. Mirwin joins in. They've still got fight left in them. Flash roll from Jojo. Razork has to match it as well. Mickey running for his life, and they went a bit too far. Man, KOI were there waiting.
Doctor was saying he's now made his way through. You can TP the minions underneath the towers, remember, as well. If you want to try and go for those fast tower sieges.
Here we go, the ult from Mirwin.
Wants to engage. Mirwin not going to find Oscar in a good spacing as per usual, just like this game. Oscar on the J's going to poke out, and he means a bit of business now as well. He's going to chase this up and onto Mirwin. Gets the Sterix Gauge shield. That's big before a 5v5 as we speak of it, and Fnatic are turning the play. On bot, they've found Upset with an ulti firing to Elyoya, and Elyoya's ulti doesn't hit. The knockback is big, and Upset, the new addition of Fnatic, is rolling over their reverse sweep chances. He cleans them, he shocks them, and Fnatic just play the map better. Jojo, where do you think you're going? Back to NA!
Movistar KOI tried to make the play in the side lane, but Fnatic read it in the 3v3. Fnatic beat them, and now as they march towards the Nexus, Fnatic might just win it.
This was what we were waiting for. Fnatic to wake up a bit, and in this game it seemed topsy-turvy, but the Lion has roared its last, it looks like, in the lower bracket. Top 4 silences. Mirwin was a big hope in the side lane, but silenced as well. Fnatic had us in the first half, but they always find a way back in. Resilience is rewarded, and Fnatic will get a chance to make another finals, locking in their face-off against the Blue Wall tomorrow.
The GG's